That was probably the most depraved book I have read ever. Literally just stood in the shower, just flabbergasted. I saw someone who didn't rate it and said, I'm not going to rate it because I just can't rate it. It is what it is. And I agree wholeheartedly.
Hey page turners, you're listening to Pages Across the Prairies,
your virtual book club and place to share the whimsy of reading.
We're your hosts, Adriana
and Christine, and we're so glad you're here.
Welcome back to Pages Across the Prairies, your favorite virtual book club. Today we are doing To Read or Not to Read, which is a mini-series in which we will give you 5 to 6 rapid-fire recommendations. I'll give you a quick summary and some reviews on the book, and you can decide without seeing the cover or knowing the title if you would read the book or not.
Perfect. I'm excited to see what you got for me today.
Genre we are doing today, I don't know if it'll always be genres that we do, but we are doing horror. This is quickly becoming my favorite literary game. I had so much fun compiling all of this. For myself, I don't usually research books. I just cover, yes, take it. But for other people, I love to find the reviews and try and make it as entertaining as possible.
Perfect. Well, I want to hear what kind of entertaining tidbits we can find on some horror books.
Yeah, I gotta say, kind of a contradiction. I don't know. I guess you could have a funny horror book, but that's a little psychotic.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive in. I think I have 5 books for you today. The first one, published in 2021, this dark historical horror holds a Goodreads rating of 4.1 stars. Set in Puritan New England, it follows a main character, a young widow, navigating suspicion, oppression, and whispers of witchcraft when she encounters a mysterious forest spirit. Her fate begins to shift in dangerous ways. The story blends folklore and revenge into a slow-burning atmospheric tale of power and survival. So, the first review, it wasn't a bad book, but I fell for it's the scariest book trope. There's nothing about it that was scary. Maybe the humans in it.
Oof.
Yeah, it's like a modern dark fairy tale. It just wasn't scary. Somebody said I listened to the book, so missed out on the art, unfortunately, but I love this book. The climax had me fist pumping in my car yelling, yes, go! Very satisfying ending for me.
Okay.
Yeah. And just a note on the artwork of this book. Apparently the author paints covers. Just saying. I appreciate that.
Interesting.
I liked how it was creepy without being one note. The mystery and lore that slowly unfolded kept me engaged. It did a great job of building the stakes that I cared about, because I cared about the main character's plight. All those pieces worked together, really delighted me. This is the only book that I have immediately started rereading after I finished it. It's even better the second time. It's hard for me to talk about it without excessive language and exclamation marks, but it's really that good. Hauntingly beautiful. Somebody else says, I have to stop judging a book by their cover, because I definitely did fall for a good cover.
Yes, guilty.
They had quite a lengthy comment, but the part that I said that I enjoyed was the main character had big, spunky, sassy heroine written by a man energy. Clearly other people love it, so I won't trash it.
Okay.
Okay. Without seeing the cover, would you consider reading the book?
So with the summary, I don't want to.
Mm-hmm. No?
No. I've come across this book in the past, but I don't know. With the summary, I just don't want to. But with some of the comments, I do want to. It would probably be low on my list.
Okay. This one did have a lot of comments critiquing it. It seemed there were people disappointed in the lack of horror, in their opinion, and other people appreciating the folklore aspect of it. All right.
Yeah.
I am going to send you this cover, and it was actually one of the ones that you recommended.
Of course it was. No way. Really?
Yep. Oh. It is Slewfoot, A Tale of Bewitchery by Brom.
I look at the cover and I want to read it. But
Right. And I think it was like a trending book for a while.
Well, I guess I'll just have to stick with it lower on my list.
It's lower on mine now, too, after having read those.
Yeah, that's too bad, because the
right.
cover is beautiful.
It is! But I also do struggle with that one comment that said, female main character written by a male energy. I've had issues with that in the past, so that was kind of a turnoff for me.
Yes.
Okay. If you've read it, if you'd consider reading it, let us know, because I have not, and now I may not. So,
yeah.
Liked it.
Yeah,
but I love the cover of it.
Gorgeous. That's like a picture to put on the wall. It's such a really nice photo painting.
Right? It's really intriguing. Yeah, I'm not sure after reading those reviews. On to our next book. Published in 2025, is psychological horror Has a Goodreads rating of about 3.5 stars. Follows Mina, a grieving child psychologist investigating a girl who claims to be haunted in a remote village. As she digs deeper, the town's superstitions and her own trauma begin to blur reality. The novel leans into atmosphere and unease over outright scares, building to the ambiguous, unsettling ending. All right. So, there were so many creepy and unsettling moments throughout this book. I was always compelled to keep going. My only issue was the very end was not very satisfying. I can forgive that when the ride was so enjoyable. I love that sentence.
Oh, I like that.
Right? I can forgive that as well, usually. Not just unsatisfactory, but also implausible. Nevertheless, I agree, the ride was enjoyable. Okay, this one. This was a long one, but I saved this part. The dialogue made my eyeballs melt. Characters constantly addressing each other by their name, as if I can't be trusted to follow more than 3 lines without wondering who was talking to whom. I constantly felt aware that I was reading something unenjoyable and could not get absorbed at all. It was one of my favorites this year. The audio, really scary though. I love
Perfect.
that.
Love that too.
Right? It took me a bit to get into this one, but I ended up really liking the story. It ended up being about horrors I was not expecting. And I can't hear the phrase good riddance the same ever again.
No.
All right. Without seeing the cover, would you consider reading this?
This one I do want to read.
Yeah?
What one is this? Yeah. I don't know, like this time
Okay.
the summary really got me and the reviews are conflicting
They're
to the
mixed.
point that I'm curious. Wait, what one is this? Is it? Really?
All right,
I didn't think that this was this one.
Yeah. Something in the Walls by Daisy Pierce. I did find that overall from the reviews in which I read tended to be, I try and get a mix of positive and negative. This one tended to be more negative from what I saw. Just because I think that also happens when you have books that really have high influence, because this one did. You see it a lot. So it has a higher bar set.
Interesting. I didn't realize that was the summary for this book.
I did not either. We're going to move on to our next one.
Okay.
But on the last one, Something in the Walls, if you've read it, if you enjoyed it, if you did not enjoy it, I would love to hear, because this one I'm mixed. I feel like the reviews that I read were telling me not to. I want to know if you loved it. I want to know if I should consider it.
Yes. Should we add that
All
to
right.
our horror list?
Right? I don't know. Published in 2022, this Bram Stoker Award-nominated novel holds a Goodreads rating of 3.8 stars. It centers on Mary, a woman experiencing disturbing changes linked to menopause and a dark inner voice. As her life spirals, she uncovers a chilling connection to a serial killer from the past. Using body horror and dark humor, it explores identity, rage, and transformation. What did I just read? What the heck did I read? All the stars. This book gets all the stars. I'm usually very generous with my rating, but even if I were a stingy boy, I'd grant this book 5 stars. Personally, right? Personally, I hated this book. I am very mad at it, to be honest. Reincarnation, cults, the desert, and more. It wasn't scary in the slightest. It was all over the place. It was too long. It was too slow. I hated the ending outcome, even though the last few chapters of the book are where any of the real action happens. And I would never, ever, ever read this book again. If I knew then what I knew now, I would not have wasted my time.
Okay, that's harsh.
So harsh.
Oh my goodness.
Well, harsher than making your eyeballs bleed? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Loved this book. This was one where I was shocked to discover that the author was a man. He wrote a 50-something female character so well, which I love that. I love it. Okay. I liked it at first and wanted to throw my Kindle across the room by the end. I put this author on my permanent do not read list, but I'm in the minority. I know.
Hey.
Loved this one. Horror books typically don't scare me, but the visions in this one had me checking behind my shower curtains. All right, last one. I read it and appreciated that the author leaned into being completely bananas. So, without seeing the cover, would you consider reading this book?
Yes, by like 2 of those reviews alone, I want to be spooked. And if they don't live up to those reviews, I will be exceptionally disappointed.
I'm going to send you the cover now. The book is Mary, An Awakening of Terror, written by Nat Cassidy.
Okay, I don't know anything about this author,
I don't either.
but I'm very, very curious.
Yeah, I am too. Just the premise of the book alone.
Yeah, and we really enjoyed Slashed Beauties with the body horror, so this might be also good.
It makes me think of like a certain hunger kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
Okay, this next one, it is going to read a little bit like an ad, and that's partly because it is one, not in that it was paid, but in that the book is not out yet. So everybody who's promoted the book thus far has received it through like special request and likely the stipulation that they're going to review the book. So I tried to get a good mix of reviews, but it was difficult to do with this one. I just really, when I saw it, I liked the cover. I said, this is one that I know is going to be on our TBR, so I really wanted to read the reviews.
All right.
Okay. Not yet published. This anticipated horror release currently has no Goodreads rating, obviously. It's an atmospheric, dread-heavy horror. Early buzz suggests themes of hidden or subterranean terror. All right. A terrific world-building book with such descriptive and immersive details that made me feel physically squeamish, anxious, and deeply unsettled. It unraveled every expectation I had. It starts off slow. You might almost give up. Please don't. The details of each page were vivid, raw, the emotion visceral. I genuinely enjoyed this book. I love plants having a florist background, and learning about the fungi, plant science, and medicine is so intriguing. All right. Now let's dive into the world itself. This was just all on the same comment thread. I'm talking about giant fungi, illuminated fungi, plants towering, and deadly predators, pools of clear, glowing acid, etc., etc. Overall, this book is a dark cinematic mix of fantasy, adventure, and botanical horror. This person says, a comment that I keep seeing repeated over and over again in the reviews is that the concept for this book is so unique that there's nothing like it, which is why it's getting such high praise. But from the moment I started this book, I realized from the very first description of the void that it is exactly the same concept of the manga. They go on to say, there's what I imagine what's supposed to be a plot twist at the end of the book that I started to predict at about the 50% mark. It feels like something the book has been making clear the entire way through. Somebody else says they consumed the book in 6 hours. I really didn't want it to stop. It left me so hungry for more, and I'm still thinking about it days later. So, Without seeing the cover, would you consider reading this book?
Yeah, I love botanical horror, and I feel like most horror books are slow to start. You know, they're introducing you into that world.
Yes.
So I don't know which one this is, but I love it when the plants start taking on a life form of their own. Which one is this?
Okay, I'm going to send it to you. So the book is What Feeds Below by Tatiana Bon? Sorry.
Yeah, put this on the top of our list, like, as soon as it comes out.
Right?
Yes.
Like, the advertising for this worked for me, definitely.
Yeah, amazing. Giving T. Kingfisher vibes all the way.
Right. I think it comes out September, so yeah, definitely something we're going to be watching out for.
Yeah, I'm just going to go like it right now to make sure we're following. Very, very cool. And Mia?
So yeah, you can expect in September sometime. We're probably going to be reviewing that one. Hopefully I convince some other people to too. I don't know. Read with us.
Exactly. Please.
We have 2 more. Published in 2017, English translation in 2020, this dystopian horror novel won, I don't know the pronunciation on it, but the Primero Clarin novella, and holds a Goodreads rating of 3.9 stars. It focuses on a main character who works in a processing plant where human flesh is legally consumed after animals become inedible. As he navigates this brutal system, he begins to question the morality of society that normalizes cannibalism. The story is bleak, unsettling, and sharply critical of the industry of complex consumption and human desensitization. Into the comments. That was probably the most depraved book I have read ever. Literally just stood in the shower just flabbergasted. As I logged my progress on Goodreads, I saw someone who didn't rate it and said, I'm not going to rate it because I just can't rate it. It is what it is. And I agree wholeheartedly. Okay. I had to read the last page 3 times because I couldn't believe it. It was an amazingly awful story, and I loved it. This person said, I felt like there wasn't enough world building. The book gave me brief mentions of transition, but there were so many empty holes and unanswered questions, and it just didn't nail the landing to me. It feels like an unfinished book. The parts that are finished are terrific, but it's still missing soul. Yeah. I cannot believe anyone would recommend this book. How on earth is it so popular? So shallow, cliche, boring, and predictable. I don't know anything about the personality of the narrator, but he is so boring. All he does is describe what is happening around him in the most basic language. This person says it was poorly executed. They enjoyed it, but they didn't like the way that it was formatted and edited. It was translated into English, so I guess it depends on the version that you're reading. This person thinks that the author could have left out every gross, graphic, descriptive scene and still gotten the point across, but the book would not have done so well. I think they were arguing because somebody said it didn't need to be that graphic, and somebody said, well, it wouldn't have been as good. Okay, so I know I'm reading several negative reviews. It was actually hard to find the negative reviews. I had to seek them out, so... But this one said, the author tiptoes around possible implications of the world that they're creating. For what? Some self-absorbed dude's internal monologue? Why? Are you kidding? This is such a well thought out and put together novel. I am still emotional about the ending. No spoilers. I, for one, think the author created a beautifully disturbing story, and she did incredible teaching us a lesson on humanity and society. Excellent storytelling. The book disgusted and disturbed me. I couldn't look away. I can't remember the last book that evoked such a strong emotional response. I felt a twist in my gut that I haven't felt since reading a different book. 5 out of 5. I can't recommend this book to my friends or coworkers, or they will think I'm some sick freak. Yeah. So, without knowing the title or seeing the cover, would you consider reading this book?
Yeah. The summary and the first few comments and the last comments, I'm just like, I love a book that you really don't feel like you can recommend to people. But, there were some pretty bad reviews in there, so I'm gonna say it's not like number 1 on my list, but it's on there, and if I came across it, I'd be like, oh yeah, let's read this right now.
I did really have to seek out those negative reviews, and I didn't realize I'd scooped up so many. I think I was just trying to find some that had weight, because on the original thread that I was on, you would have one negative review and about 30 people coming at them saying, you're incorrect and here's why.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I want to read this, whatever it is. I don't even know, but I want to read it.
I'm going to send it to you. Yeah, this one seemed like, out of all the ones that I have today, people seem the most disgusted by it, though, but in the positive. That it worked for the story, that was the goal, right? It's a horror.
Perfect. It's a good sign.
Okay. So the book is Tender is the Flesh, written by Augustina Bastrica.
Interesting. I actually didn't know what this book was about. I know that it was on my list, but I didn't realize that it had to do with running out of animals to eat and now eating people. So, well, that's fascinating.
Right? I knew it had to do with cannibalism because it's shown up so many times, but otherwise...
I want to read this. Let's put this up there.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. If you've read it and you enjoyed it, because I feel like I maybe gave it a bad look, let us know, because I do feel like the general public does like this one.
Perfect.
All right, this is our last one, published in 2024. This debut horror novel has a Goodreads rating of 3.8 stars and originated from a viral award-winning Reddit story. It follows a couple whose home is visited by a family, claiming they used to live there. The situation quickly spirals into reality-bending horror. Tied to the house itself, it delivers a disorienting psychological scare. Okay, just finished it, and I really need someone to talk to about it, because what? I've been so confused by this book. But I'm also totally loving it. This book is honestly a work of art. People who don't understand it, it's okay if you didn't. It's not meant to be understood fully. There's a lot to this. It's meant to be a sort of game. I recommend doing some research. Okay, so this person said that they felt that the author was just trying to fill out word count. It had an intriguing opening and deeply lackluster ending. While we're stuck with the main character who can barely string two thoughts together without an aside about how scared and useless she is, it is fundamentally a piece of short internet horror stretched over the skeleton of a novel until the skin splits and you can see the hollow interior. Yeah. They went on to say, novels need something short horror can sometimes do without, like character development and plots. This book was eerie, twisty, and so enrapturing the entire time. I had to read it slowly, and the book didn't leave my mind once. The plot was so mind-bending. To me, not knowing what to believe, one of my favorites this year. So this made me feel stupid and insane, so I guess good job. Oh my, I keep repeating this as a mantra because I am speechless. And I may need adult diapers after reading this because it scared the living daylights out of me.
It's a good one.
So, without seeing the cover of this book, would you consider reading it?
Yeah, by the first review alone, sold.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very curious. What one was this?
So the book is We Used to Live Here by Marcus Clear.
Perfect. I think that's the one that we should be reading.
Yeah, I think so. I think that the reviews on it were certainly intriguing. I think it's definitely one that I think should be read.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm very interested by that one just by all those reviews alone. And I mean, if it scares you that bad that you're going to need to go buy yourself a box, then...
All right, so that is all that we have for you this time. I'm not sure if we'll do a genre or what we're going to do next time, but we will have Rex for you in a couple weeks. If not, we're going to do a book club on We Used to Live Here. So we will do spoiler-free, spoiler-full. You can learn more about it. So if you want a regular book club setting, that will be coming out right away here. And if not, Rex will be out in a couple weeks.
Perfect. Looking forward to seeing you at the next book club.
Thanks for flipping through pages across the prairies with us. Until next time, keep your tea warm, your bookmark handy, and if you enjoyed today's chat, like, share, and subscribe to join us again.